Welcome back. Today, we're going to begin our study of hieroglyphs by learning the Egyptian alphabet and how to write our names in hieroglyphs. But first, I have to give you the answer to the homework question. What does this ancient Egyptian sentence say? I've been teaching this course for 40 years, and I'm always surprised at how consistent the guesses are. Almost everyone thinks it's about birds and going somewhere, which is perfectly reasonable, since we see birds, feet, and so on. But reasonable is not necessarily correct. The sentence has nothing to do with feet, walking, or birds. Everyone is making the same mistake that the scholars trying to decipher hieroglyphs were making, assuming that the hieroglyphs are 100% ideographic, that is, picture writing. That when you have a bird, the text is talking about birds. It's not. This is what I call the big mistake. In fact, this sentence translates to, "The sun is shining in the sky." Let me explain why. Hieroglyphs, for the most part, are phonetic and represent sounds. The first bird is a quail chick, and it represents the sound W. The foot has a sound B, a B, and the wavy line is an N. This circle at the end, though, is ideographic. It represents the sun and helps make clear the meaning of weben. It's the word for shine. So, two things to note about our first Egyptian word. First, it's mostly phonetic, with no vowels, and often we don't know which vowels were used. Second, an ideographic sign at the end provides a clue to the word's meaning. The second word in our sentence is made up of 3 hieroglyphs: a mouth sign, an arm, and our sun circle again, which has no sound, but helps make the meaning clear. So the sound is re, and it means sun. Next comes an owl. That's pronounced and it means in. Our last word has a rectangle, which is a p, and a semicircle, which is a t, so it's pronounced pet. The hieroglyph under it represents the sky. The Egyptians viewed the sky as a canopy held up by 4 pillars, and the word means sky. Note how the word for sky is formed. 2 small hieroglyphs together above a longer one. The ancient Egyptians were very concerned with aesthetics. They wanted their words and sentences to look good. If you strung out the 3 hieroglyphs on one line, it wouldn't look nearly as good. So our sentence means, the sun is shining in the sky. Nothing about birds, feet, or arms. We should also notice that the verb shine comes at the start of the sentence. Verbs come first in ancient Egyptian. I should point out that sometimes in Egyptian, just as in English, there is some ambiguity. The word weben, to shine, also means to rise. So your sentence could also be translated as, the sun is rising in the sky. In our sentence, hieroglyphs are actually used 2 ways. Phonetically, to represent sounds, but also as pictures to help us determine the meanings of phonetic words, like the sun and sky hieroglyphs. These signs are called determinatives because they help us determine the meaning of a word. There's one more way that hieroglyphs can be used, and that's as ideograms. Ideograms are hieroglyphs used pictorially, but not at the end of a word. Rather, ideograms stand alone. To help you recognize that they're standing alone, they are often flagged in the ancient Egyptian language with a stroke. So we could do some speed writing, and for sun, we could write this, the sun with a stroke. So to summarize, Hieroglyphs can be used in three ways. First, phonetically, representing a sound. Second, as a determinative, coming at the end of a word to clarify its meaning. And third, as an ideogram, where the picture represents a concept all by itself. We will get lots of practice with all three uses of hieroglyphs, and they'll become familiar with repetition, so don't worry. Now it's time to learn the ancient Egyptian alphabet. I'll show you how to write each hieroglyph step by step. But just a heads up, there's no letters L, O, V, or X in Middle Egyptian. I'll show you how to draw an L lion that was used much later during the Ptolemaic period. But don't be surprised when we skip right over some other letters. Now, get some paper and a pencil or pen. Let me give you one tip to improve your hieroglyphic penmanship. Use a fine point felt tip pen. Hieroglyphs were intended to be drawn with a brush. A felt tip pen will approximate the brush. Let's start with A. Now, I know I said that the Egyptians didn't write vowels, and I'm showing you an A. It's not exactly the sound of R-A. Philologists call it semivocalic, like the Arabic ayin. It may have sounded a bit like the O in Otto even. Now, for this sound, we're going to draw a vulture. Watch the steps, and then follow along when I draw it a second time. We start with the beak, something like that. Next, we go with the front of the body. Then, give him front legs. We come down for the back. Give him the back wings. Come up for his leg. Give him something to stand on. And you've got a vulture. Now, let's do it again. I'll do it slowly. You'll see the sequence. Start with your beak. Do the front. Give him his front legs. Come down with the back. Back wings. Come over. Up with the leg. And always the bird stand on something. That's our letter A. Ah. This is one of the most difficult of the alphabetic hieroglyphs. Don't worry if you're having trouble. You'll get it. Everyone does. Remember, our exercise book also shows you how to draw it step by step. B is a foot. Start with a line down. Then you're just going to need a triangle coming over here. Come back. And then you've got the back of the foot. B. Line down. Triangle. Come back. And bring it down. And you've got a foot. It's very stylized. There's no real C, but we have a CH sound, like in the Scottish loch. It's a placenta. You just draw a circle and put 3 lines across, and you've got it. Sometimes there's 4 lines across. It doesn't matter which, and that's our CH sound. D is a hand. It's stylized, not realistic. Now, start with an oval, then draw the wrist, like that, and now comes the thumb. It almost looks like a mitten. So you do the oval, the wrist, and the thumb, and that's D. E is an arm. It's one of those semivocalic sounds, not quite a vowel. Now, start with the fingers of the hand, like that. Then go with the arm, and then the shoulder. The shoulder isn't a square. It's got a little bit of a down like that. And that's the E. So remember, you just do the thumb, you do the hand underneath it, you bring the arm all the way out, and then you go up, and you've got the shoulder. And that's the E sound. F is a snake, the horned viper. Start with the head and body, like that, and then just give them the 2 horns. And that's it. He's very stylized. So you just give him the body, and then 2 horns, and you've got it, the F. G is a jar stand. It's not a teepee. It's a hard G sound, as in guarantee. Often, desert civilizations created round-bottomed pots that they could set upright in the sand. Indoors, you needed a stand for the pot, usually made of clay. The bottom of the pot would rest in it. The triangle cutout is to allow a breeze to go through and cool your water in the jar. Now, let me show you how to draw the jar stand. Start with 2 vertical lines, like that. Now, the curved bottom. It's a little bit of perspective. Put in the top, and then your little triangle so you get the breeze to cool your water. And that's the jar stand. Once again, 2 vertical lines, the nice curved bottom, do the top straight across, and your triangle so you have cool water. And that's your letter G. Now for H. There are actually 2 different H's in the Egyptian alphabet. The reed hut H is a simple structure made of reeds so the farmer can get out of the blistering sun for a while. It's all straight lines. Let me show you. You go up, across, down, across, and up. Again, like that. Simple straight lines. And that's one of the H's. The other H is a twisted flax, and it's surprisingly difficult to draw. It represents 2 strands of flax twisted together. Now, it looks like 3 loops, one on top of the other, but don't draw it that way. It just doesn't come out right. Let's do it the way the ancient scribes did it. Start with a curve at the top, bring another one down, and then finish the bottom. That's your twisted flax H. Start with a curve at the top, bring another one down, and finish your bottom. And that's it. The difference between the 2 H's is that the reed hut is more emphatic, as in hot, where you expel your breath forcefully. The flax H is not so emphatic. It's more like the H in hello. Now, on to I, another semi-vowel. I is a reed leaf, the kind that flowers by the seashore. It probably was vocalized like the I in it. Now, start with a straight line. Then give it a rounded top, like that. Then come down parallel, and then finish it off with another curved line. And that's your reed leaf. Let's do it one more time. Down, curve at top, straight down, and then give it another curve, and that's it. For J, we have a snake. We think it's a cobra. It's really a DJ sound, as in judge. First, start with the head, come down, across, and down, and that's it. The key is getting the angles. It's really right angles almost. So start with the head, come down, across, and down. And that's your J or DJ. K is easy. It's a basket with a handle. Draw a slice of a circle, and then just do the handle at an angle coming down like that. And that's your K. Let's try it again. Just drew your slice of a circle and the handle coming down. Looks like a coffee cup, but it's a basket. As I said before, there's no L in the ancient Egyptian alphabet. This would be added later. We're studying Middle Egyptian, the language spoken around 2000 BC. Later, the Greeks would use a lion for their L's in their names like Ptolemy and Cleopatra. If your name is Lily, you'll want to know how to draw it. So let me show you one now. For the lion, Start with the rectangle for the head. Then do the mane. Next, you can do the body. Give him a tail. And then you're going to do hindquarters, front legs, and if you have time, you can give him a nose. It's kind of cartoony, but you can do it quickly that way. Let me show you one more time. Start with the rectangle for the face. Then his mane. Next, the body, the tail, back legs, front legs, and you can even give him a nose. And that's your lion L. So there you go, Lily. M is another bird, an owl. The key thing is to start with the head, which looks like this. It's an unusual bird because it's looking frontally at you. Usually the birds you can't see frontally. Now, we do everything exactly the same as the A, the vulture. We start with the front. We give him his front legs. We come down with the back feathers, the back. We come up for the leg and give him something to stand on. And if you have a little time, give him his distinctive beak, and you've got an owl. Let's try it again. Start with the rectangle up here, the unfinished rectangle. Then go for the front of the body, the front leg. Now come down, just like the vulture, for the back. Come across and up for the tail feathers, and give him something to stand on, and we'll give him his beak. That's your M. Sometimes, instead of the owl, Egyptian scribes used another hieroglyph. It's a base upon which a statue stood. We'll see it later in the course, and I'll remind you about it, but let me show you how to draw it. It's very simple. You just come across and front and back, and that's the statue base. So it's just across, down at an angle, and back. Either the owl or the statue base, same thing. And now for N. It's simple up and down peaks. The word for water was nun, so it's not surprising that the ideogram for water also represents the sound n. Now, let's do it here. Up and down, up and down. There's no specific number of peaks. You can do 4 or 5, but the important thing is the ends have to go down. So let's do it one more time. And that's your N. I believe that the water sign may have been the first hieroglyph. There are early water jars with wavy line designs. It's the first label ever. From this, we can go on to create the Narmer palette. Remember, it's all labels for Narmer, the servant, the vizier. And now, back to our alphabet. Like L, there's no O in the ancient Egyptian alphabet. So we'll skip over O and go straight to P. P is a rectangle, not a square, and represents a woven reed mat. It's simple. Just do a rectangle, and you've got it. Let's do it one more time. That's P. You may be wondering how we know that this rectangle is a reed mat. Well, on tomb walls, when the hieroglyph is drawn in detail, we often see the weaving. Q is just a hill. It has a slightly different sound from the basket K we just learned. Think about the difference in the initial sounds of queen and kid. The Q is almost a KW sound. Let me show you how to do it. Draw the bottom line of the hill, then the top, and then it's curved down to the bottom like that. That's Q. So again, just do the bottom, come up, and curve it down to the bottom, and that's your Q. R is a mouth. First, just do the top, and then the bottom. And that's it. Just the top, and then the bottom. And you've got R. The letter S looks like a cane, but it isn't. It's a bolt of folded cloth. Don't try to draw it in one single line. It just doesn't come out well that way. Do it in 3 strokes. We know that the scribes did it that way because we can see brush strokes, and even where the ink in the brush began to run out. So start with a vertical line. Then do a shorter parallel line, and then connect the 2. And that'll always come out nicely. Again, your vertical line, your parallel, connect the 2, and you've got it. T is real easy. It's just a semicircle. It's a loaf of bread. Start with the bottom and just do the top, and that's your letter T. One more. That's your letter T. The U is our 3rd and last bird in the alphabet. He's a quail chick. Now, start with the head, and then when you do the body, the thing about the quail chick is it's mostly straight lines. So when you come down, do it like that. You can come across for here, do it here, and now you've got the feet, put in a wing, give him his beak, and you've got your quail chick. Let's try him again. Start with the head. Then we can come down here. Now, if you want, you can draw the parallel line here first, then connect. Now you give him feet. He's going to walk. Put him on something. Complete the face with the beak coming down, and give him his wing. And that's your quail chick. There's no V in our alphabet. So we go to W, but W is also the quail chick that we used for U. Now there's also no X. Y is the reed written twice. It has the sound of a long E, like in Mary. So just with our I, we start with a straight line. We give him a curve at the top, come down, and then give it the other curve. And we're going to do it twice. Straight line, curve, come down, and that's the Y sound. We'll do one more time. Straight line, curve at the top, come down, like that. Straight line, up at the top, come down, curve, and that's the Y sound. Z is a bolt on a door, the kind that slides. When written, it's simply this. Do it again, just you'll see it. It's a line like that. Now, when you actually see it, you'll see that it's much more complicated, but for writing it, they just did it this way. Now, there are just 2 more hieroglyphs to complete our alphabet. They're for sounds for which English doesn't use a single letter. The sound sh is really one sound. But in English, we have to use 2 letters to represent it, S and H. The ancient Egyptians used a pool of water for the SH sound. Just draw a rectangle. And that's your pool of water. So it's just a long, thin pool. And once in a while, they'd put 2 lines in it to indicate water. So that's the SH sound. Last is the sound ch. This is represented by a tethering ring. It was used to keep animals from running away. Put each loop over a hoof and your donkey isn't going anywhere. Let me show you how to do it. Start by drawing the 2 loops. This is what's going to fit over the donkey's hooves. And then the string. And that's your tethering ring. So 2 loops, And then, that's it. That's sh. Now, let's write our names in the Egyptian alphabet. Note that we're not translating our names. We're not working at the level of meanings. We're just transcribing our names from one alphabet to another. This is transliteration. Let's say your name is Andrea Schwartz. Well, for the A sound, we start with the vulture. Next, we have an N, the water sign. Then we have the hand D. We start with the oval, do the wrist, the thumb. We're getting there. Next, we have an R, right? Now, I put one sign on top of the other. If you have two short signs, they can go one on top of the other, because remember, the Egyptians liked it to look good. So now we have the mouth hieroglyph, which is easy. And then we need the arm for the eh. We're going to stack them again. There's our Andrea. And then we have an A at the end, maybe. So that's the Andrea. Now, for Schwartz, let's go by the sound, right? Now, Schwartz is a sh sound, really. So I think we can use something like the SH. Good. Now we can have a quail chick, maybe. A, right? Now next, we're going to have an R, T, Z. So we're going to have three short signs. Let's stack them up. Sometimes the Egyptians would do that. So we got the sh, war. Now we have the T. We have an R, the T, and the Z together. That would be your Schwartz. There, you can see how I've stacked the three hieroglyphs just because they would like it because it looked better that way. That's how we write Andrea Schwartz in hieroglyphs. Well, it's been a big lesson. We've learned the three ways that a hieroglyph can be used, the hieroglyphic alphabet, how to write hieroglyphs, and how to position them. That's quite a lot. We just have to practice a bit to let it all sink in. Let me give you a homework assignment. On lined paper, practice writing one line of each hieroglyph. Do a line of vultures, then the foot, and so forth. Don't rush it. Enjoy it. Our exercise book will show you how to draw the alphabetic hieroglyphs. Just follow the step-by-step instructions for each one. I think you'll really enjoy the process. I find drawing hieroglyphs to be a therapeutic escape from a frantic day. Or when I'm stuck listening to a not-so-interesting lecture, I take out my felt-tip pen and I draw hieroglyphs. I have a hunch that I'm not the only one of my colleagues who does that. I'll see you next time.